Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in a sea of group chats, notifications, and, let's be honest, AI assistants that just seem to add to the noise? Well, what if there was a way to move beyond all that? That's the big idea behind something called ThoughtWave. It's not just another app, it's a proposed leap forward, aiming to get us from the limits of today's AI to a future of actual, structured, collective intelligence.
I mean, let's be real. Our digital conversations are a complete mess, right? And trying to get a straight answer out of an AI can feel like you're rolling the dice every single time. All of that sorting, filtering, and trying to figure out what's going on creates this constant cognitive load. It's just tiring. And that friction, that's the exact problem ThoughtWave is trying to solve.
So this really lays out the core shift. On one side, you've got our current reality, noise, friction, and a whole lot of mental work for us. But on the other side, you have the promise of ThoughtWave, taking all that chaos and replacing it with structure and clarity, so we can turn our jumbled input into genuine, usable, collective intelligence.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll dig into the communication crisis that we're all feeling. Then we'll explore ThoughtWave's really interesting human-centered solution and even get a peek inside the alpha version. From there, we'll look at the road ahead, from making sense of things to actually taking action, and finally, to its really ambitious, invisible future.
Okay, first up, the communication crisis. Why isn't just building a bigger, smarter AI the answer to all of our problems? Turns out it's a little more complicated than that. So here are the fundamental flaws, even in our most advanced AIs. First, they hallucinate. They just make stuff up with absolute confidence. Second, their effective memory is surprisingly tiny. You give them a long conversation and they forget the beginning. Third, their reasoning just collapses under complexity. And maybe most important of all, their goal isn't to find the truth or align with what we value, it's just to predict the next word. These aren't just little bugs, they're core limitations of the tech itself.
So if the AI can't be the brain of the operation, what's the alternative? Well, this leads to a completely different approach, one that basically rethinks AI's job entirely. And this is the paradigm shift right at the heart of ThoughtWave. It's called human-centric sense-making. The idea is simple. Instead of asking an AI to think for us, we, the humans, provide all the actual thinking, the raw ideas, the creative insights. The AI's job gets demoted to something more like an expert facilitator. It just organizes, structures, and connects all that human brain power. And here's why that is so important. Turns out there's a real AI penalty. We just fundamentally trust processes that are led by other people more than ones led by a mysterious black box AI. So if you want to build something that people will actually use for important conversations, you have to build it on a foundation of trust. And that means putting humans, not the AI, in the driver's seat. This makes the architectural shift super clear. Standard AI is a black box, right? You ask a question, an answer pops out, and you have no idea how it got there. ThoughtWave flips this on its head. Human thoughts are the raw material. They're captured and structured first. The AI's only job is to then find the patterns and connect those human insights together. The intelligence is already in the group. The AI just helps us see it. Okay, so that's the big idea. It's a great philosophy, but what does this actually look like in practice? Let's take a look inside the current alpha version to see how this all really works. It all works as this neat 4-step pipeline. First, you capture your thoughts, and it's voice first, so you just talk. Second, an AI normalizes the audio. It cleans up all the ums and ahs, but keeps the core meaning. Third, and this is the magic part, the system patterns the thought to understand its true intent. And finally, it groups that thought with other similar ones. The end result, you get structure created automatically right from the chaos of conversation. So how does it pattern a thought? Well, it uses this really cool technique called dimensional patterning. Think of it like creating a fingerprint for meaning for every single thing that's said. It analyzes each thought across 3 key dimensions. First, the subject. Simple. What are you talking about? Second, the feeling. What's the emotional vibe? And third, the neural layer. Basically, what kind of thinking is this? Is it an idea, a question, a proposal for action? By mapping all 3, it gets this incredibly rich understanding of every contribution. All of that patterning data then creates what the developers call a dimensional resonance matrix. I know, that sounds super technical, but think of it like this visual here. It takes all the tangled, messy threads of a conversation and weaves them into a structured, navigable map.
All of a sudden, you're not lost in some chaotic chat thread anymore. You're actually exploring a clear landscape of ideas.
So that's the core tech today. It helps groups make sense of what they're all saying, which is already huge. But where does it go from here? Well, the roadmap is all about turning that sense-making into real-world action.
The evolution follows this really logical path. Right now, it's all about sense-making, just understanding the conversation. The very next step is tasks, where the system will start automatically detecting action items and tracking them. And the future? That's about decisions, actively helping groups come together on a high-quality outcome. It's a deliberate move from passive understanding to active coordination.
So the crucial point is this. The whole roadmap is designed to bridge that one critical gap that plagues so many of us. That gap between understanding what's happening and actually moving something forward. It's about converting shared meaning into shared movement. And this all leads to a really fascinating and, frankly, ambitious long-term vision. We're not just talking about a better app here. We're talking about a fundamentally different way of interacting with technology itself.
I love this quote from their white paper. An interface collapse into conversation. What does that even mean? It means getting rid of the screens, the buttons, the menus, all the stuff that defines technology for us today. The future interface they imagine isn't an app you open. It's a single ongoing dialogue with an assistant. You're no longer clicking and tapping your way through endless feeds. Instead, the assistant is the entire product. It handles all the complexity, and you just talk to it. Any screen, any list, any document only shows up when you ask for it.
So this is the ultimate North Star vision, a future where technology becomes more and more invisible, where all our interaction is voice-first and hands-free, maybe even navigating complex ideas in augmented reality. Imagine a system where the best ideas win because they're the best ideas, not because of who said them. The ultimate goal here is to make collective intelligence a powerful, accessible utility for literally everyone. So I'll leave you with the same question the creators are asking. Just imagine a world where this technology is mature, where a company, a community, or even a city could tap into its collective wisdom and converge on a great decision, not in months or years, but in minutes. What kind of problems could we finally solve then?